All right, my people, I have saved the best for last. And of course, I want to give you guys creative freedom to think about what other areas of activation content you can come up with. I've given you a few, but gosh, it's got to be a ton more. But let's talk about my fave, okay? And this is something I don't see. I teach on it a lot, but I don't see it used consistently at all. People will do it once or twice. Listen, for things to work in our business, you got to do them repeatedly, like ad nauseum, for it to work, okay? This is a long game, okay? It's discipline. It's discipline in down a long distance running in the same distance. All right? So let's focus on this and let's think about how important this is. Okay? What I'm talking about right now is home buyer needs. Home buyer needs in the form of activation content. So think about this. You're in a seller's market. Inventory levels are down. You're working with 2-3 sets of buyers. None of them can find the home that they want. I mean, they're hot, ready, willing, and able buyers. Just the right home has not presented itself. So I feel in this situation, we have a responsibility as excellent real estate agents to create content, to use this megaphone that is video, this 1-2 punch of video and social media to get that message out there and go, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, if you've had thoughts of selling, please listen up. And you own a home in the Rock Creek subdivision. I've got hot, ready, willing, and able buyers that are looking for a 4-bedroom home in your subdivision. It needs to be at least 2,500 square feet. It needs to be on the golf course. My people are really, avid golfers, and they've always wanted to live in a golf course community. So if I am describing a home that you've recently had thoughts of selling, please get in touch with me right away. You can reach me, call or text my cell, 251-583-9728. So imagine if you and your spouse are around the dinner table, you guys have been talking about possibly putting your home on the market, and you don't know if now's the right time, or you've got a couple kids and you don't want to have to go to all the trouble of preparing the home for market and cleaning up the toys and doing the dishes and making the beds before you go to work in case there's a showing. You really want to sell, but you just don't want to go through the hassle. And so you're talking about it. You're like, man, we really would like to get in this golf course subdivision. You're talking about it over dinner. And then a few days later at work, you see this mug in your news feed, and I'm going, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I have that buyer for you. You know the one you were talking to your spouse about over dinner the other night? I have that buyer. They're ready, willing, and able. And oh, guess what? This is going to be the easiest real estate transaction of life because you don't have to do the dishes. You don't have to pick up the kids' toys. You don't have to scoop the dog poop every day. You don't have to go to all this trouble before you walk out the door to go to work because you got enough stuff to worry about. Of preparing the home for a showing because I'm just going to bring them in and it's going to be a one-time knock it out of the park done deal. Do you think that kind of passion, emotion, confidence, the fact that you have a ready, willing, and able buyer and you're describing the home that they live in and they want to sell, but they just don't want to go through all the process, the ins and outs, the nuts and bolts, the minutia of the process, and you're just going to come in and make this easy for them because you've got the qualified buyer. You've got all the power. Now let me tell you the second component of this. What do you think happens in the relationship with your home buyer that you've been trying to find them a home for several weeks, and in some cases this might even be several months? You guys have been working together, waiting for that home to come on the market. You even missed a couple. Sometimes you got multiple offer situations and negotiations didn't go your way. And boy, they're really starting to feel beat down. And then you, being the excellent real estate agent that you are, decide, listen, I'm going next level on this. I'm going to start cranking out content on Insta and Facebook and LinkedIn and TikTok and all these other crazy channels looking for people that have had recent thoughts of selling that match the needs of my home buyers. What do you think happens if that results in a sale? If you find them an off-market home or a FSBO that wasn't properly marketed, something that never would have come across their radar. They never would have had an opportunity to buy this home, had you not created this content? What do you think that's going to do with the relationship of your buyer? It's going to be kumbaya. You've got a client, a referral, a raving fan, referral partner for life. Think about that. We're in a referral-based business. We're in a relationship-based business. Are you going to let that caliber of relationship be untapped because you are afraid to get in front of the camera like I'm doing now? You're afraid of what people are going to say about you. You're afraid of what you look like, you sound like. Are you really going to let that stand in the way of this kind of service? Ask yourself that. I think you have a responsibility, a fiduciary responsibility, to go above and beyond, to play matchmaker. Food for thought.